Welcome to the Shakaama Live Show with your host, Shakaama. There are over 32 million single, unmarried men in China. This is not surprising because they had the one-child policy, and during that period, most people wanted a male child because male children are useful. Not only do they carry on the family line, but at all levels, financially, from farmer to corporate CEO, the male child will assist in carrying on the family business financially, what have you, right? A male child will go to the field and help you farm if you're a farmer. If you're a CEO, you can pour all of your resources into the child, and for the most part, he'll become a CEO as well. So there are 32 million single unmarried men in China. That's not surprising. But wait, there are 1 million single unmarried women in China. What's going on there? To the Western mind, that's nothing. Until you learn that the 1 million unmarried single women in China are over 30 years old. You're considered an old maid, a leftover woman, at the age of 25 in China, in Asia. Then you dig a little bit deeper and then you ask, what's the problem? I don't see a problem. Well, the problem is the culture says you must get married. Everybody's married except for, as far as women go, the 1 million. Okay, then let's take a look at the women over 30. They are educated, they make money, they have their own house, they have a bachelor's or master's degree. Why are they not married? Then you start getting into the attitude. So because the family is forcing them, they are on the dating markets. So their toe is in the pool to appease their family, because their family is saying, hey, what are you doing? You're supposed to be married by now. You're supposed to have been married with the child. Then you start interviewing these women, and they don't necessarily want to be married, and they don't necessarily want to have children because they're concentrating on their career and making money. It is a complete disconnect from their society. And then you say, does this have anything to do with feminism? And the answer is yes. It has arrived in China. It is completely antithetical to the actual culture in China. 16 to 25, you should be married. And in a very traditional sense, a year later, you should have a child. So then you say, why aren't you married? What's holding you back from being married? Then you look at the women, and the women are, by Asian standards, pretty. So they take care of their body and their looks, and they take care of their money and their education. Of course, their parents took care of the education part. So they have gotten so caught up into the education and career part, and literally it's a smack in the face of the parents, to the point where you have national viral stories of the parents arguing with the women, saying, why aren't you married? What is going on? We didn't pour ourselves into this to have you be single working. Then you interview the actual women and they say they want a man that makes more than them. Hold on. They have a house or apartment or condo by themselves. No, we're not even talking about apartment. They have a house or a condo that they paid for. So they are in an echelon that is not broke. So if they go looking for a man that makes more than them, they are looking for men who are in a completely different echelon. And when women go looking for a man that makes more than them, they don't mean more as in like $100 more. They're looking for men that make something like 20% upwards more than them. if not 50% and upwards, more than them. And it doesn't matter to them, or they don't have the mindset that I am a leftover woman. I need to have completely different standards than a woman who's 18. So then when they go out to dates, they're stuck in this delusion that they're 18 with money. But 18-year-olds don't have money, first of all. So there's a complete disconnect there, with her own house, with her own car, in a super expensive economy. Let me hammer down the key point that they are leftover women. As soon as the man shakes her hand and says, "Hi, my name's Bill. I'm 27 years old. How old are you?" And she says 40, more often than not, the conversation is done. It's over. Even if she says I'm 30, the conversation is over. For her to get the man that she wants, if he's not already married, first of all, right? Probably 10,000 other women already want him too. So she is literally 1 out of 10,000. And those 10,000 probably are 25 years old. Probably. If not younger. So she is 30 to 40 trying to compete with women who are of appropriate age. Also, the 16 to 25 year olds have an appropriate attitude and probably don't have their own house, car, degree, and money to go shopping and buy luxury items every weekend on her own dime. They do not have that. And that is a good thing for the man, in the man's opinion. He's looking to settle down, and she isn't necessarily looking to settle down. That's the kicker. So with this, as this keeps happening, because every day, like they say, every day a woman turns 18, there's an 18-year-old popping out every day, right? There is a woman popping into 30 to 40 every day. So this keeps, their number keeps growing. Now they have the, you can have as many children as you want policy to hopefully fix that, because the actual Central Communist Party is also very traditional, and they want their people to be married. So they don't want 32 million single men. So they did away with the one-child policy. They went to 2 children, then they went to 3. Now the cap is completely off, right? Because the whole idea is that it is completely sustainable, because you can have as much farmland. They have secured everything, and they can just build and build and build and build. They've built like 5,000 coal plants, and they're fine, right? Up until it was exposed that they've been using and abusing in the United States of America financially, but that is a completely separate video. Every day, a woman in China steps into the old maid, leftover woman group, and it's happening more and more and more. Because women like to feed into delusion. They don't like to feed into logic and reason and, hey, also, of the 32 million single men in China, they take a look at them and they say, are they actually, is there something actually wrong with those men? And the answer is no, there's absolutely nothing wrong with those men. It's just that the million women are completely delusional. And it makes national headlines when the parents argue with these women and say, you're turning down very fine men. Well, he doesn't have a car. What? We're wanting you to get married and have children. You have a car? What's the problem? He's not good looking. You sit in the mirror for half an hour every day, making absolutely sure your skin is flawless. You're 30 years old. You're 40 years old. What are you doing? Who are you pimping and preening for? Who are you putting the makeup on for? Who are you keeping in shape for? Other women? You can't have children with other women. This is China. They don't mince words over there. You can't have children with other women. Stop trying to impress other women. The other women are competing with you for a man. You are saying you don't even want a man. What is wrong with you? The projection is that this is going to increase, not decrease. There's been some speculation that the population has actually decreased dramatically in China. So the 1.5 billion people number is being questioned. And this story comes out, and here's the kicker. The actual million number is for the women who are on the dating sites. Meaning, it could be 30 million women. We don't know. But they are stuck on, I have this money, my man needs to have money. And then I read messages from the actual men, and the men said, the problem is, when they do get with the man, they use the man as an ATM. So then this money, all of this money that they have to buy a house, to buy a car, to go shopping by themselves on their own dime, turns into you buying a house, you buying a car, you paying for them to go shopping every weekend. That's how that works. That's what that turns into. The man is not considered a man. He's considered literally an ATM. So not only are they rejecting the men, maybe that's not actually true to begin with, but the men are rejecting them. And the men that they actually want have options. So it may be that the whole concept of they're rejecting men is a lie to begin with, because who's going to marry a 40-year-old woman in China, regardless of how she looks, regardless of anything? And there you have it. There's the story. This goes double in the West. The whole concept of I'm a woman, I'm over 30, I'm over 40, and I need a man to do this and that and the other. But then her standards are so outrageous, and she doesn't realize she's competing with 18-year-old women. First of all, who don't have any of those standards, who are better looking and more fertile. And in China, they value fertility more than anything else. They have fertility festivals, fertility holidays. Thank y'all for watching. Please thumbs up the video. You should thumbs up the video just based on the title alone anytime you go to any video, because we put a lot of time into these videos. You don't see that part. Thank y'all for watching.